Donald Trump had spent quite a bit of time promoting Truth Social, this so-called Twitter alternative for conservatives. But now it turns out that the app has kind of been flailing. It's been released officially, and it seems like even Trump himself has no interest in it. So did Trump have a change of heart, or was Truth Social a scam all along? And we'll get to that last question in just a bit. But first, here are the details on how Truth Social is really doing. Installs of Truth Social on the Apple App Store this month have fallen to about 60,000 per week based on early estimates. This is down 93% from its launch week when it saw 872,000 installs during the week of February 21st, according to Stephanie Chan, mobile insight strategist at Senior Tower. She told this to The Wrap. Now, the same week Truth Social saw 60,000 installs, Getter saw an estimated 23,000. Another conservative social media platform, Parler, received around 5,000 installs that week. Wow, they're doing real well. However, to catch up with either of those platforms, Truth Social has a long way to go. And those most recent download numbers aren't matching the growth numbers that Parler and Getter saw at the same point in either platform's lifespan. So long story short, I mean, it seems like there's very little interest in Truth Social, not only from ordinary people, conservatives who are of course the target demo here, but even from Trump himself. Now compare Truth Social's total downloads to other platforms. We estimate that Truth Social has so far reached approximately 1.2 million installs since its launch. Well, if you want to compare that to Twitter apparently in Q3 of 2021 had 211 million monetizable daily active users, which makes me very depressed because I actually would love to see Twitter fail. There are many other users on the platform, by the way, that are not monetizable. So the 211 million are strictly those who are able to monetize, right? So there are many, many more. And we're comparing that to Truth Social that only has about 1.2 million installs. And so it looks like Trump has failed so far in creating a real alternative to Twitter.
You know, what I love about this is that I think every one of us already predicted, even before the thing launched, we all knew this was going to fail. What none of us could have predicted was that less than a month and a half later, it was virtually dead. I mean, the whole thing is a ghost town at this point. Last I had seen, and maybe it's changed within the last 3 or 4 days, but last I had seen, Trump hasn't used it. He sent out one message before it launched, but since the launch, since February 21st, from what I've seen, he hasn't sent out a single thing, to the point where last night, Eric Trump had to get on Twitter to tell people, hey, I'm going live on Truth Social, come join the party. And I don't know if anybody actually went over there. I can't get on Truth Social because there's still like a waiting list for some reason. I mean,
are you serious?
Yeah,
there's a waiting list.
Oh yeah. There's like allegedly about 300,000 people still on the wait list to be able to get through onto Truth Social. And I don't even understand. Look, I've worked at websites. I have helped launch websites and media projects. Never once have I seen a wait list. Like, I don't understand. Do you not have enough bandwidth? Do you need to buy another server to have more people use your platform? Why? How is there even a wait list to get on a website? But
who's running this? Anna Delvey? Like, you have to be on a wait list to join Truth Social. It's very exclusive, okay? It's like the Soho House, but even better of social media. Like it's barriers to entry. Not a good idea if you're trying to build a platform that's meant to be a competitor and an alternative to Twitter. Like, what do they think? I love how much they fail. It's so good. It's so good. We have to bask in their failure because it's hilarious.
Well, and the best thing too is that, let's not forget, Truth Social was supposed to be the beginning of this whole Donald Trump media empire that he is supposed to be creating. They had mentioned they might get into television, video production, things like that. And when you can't even launch a successful app because you don't even have faith in it, that you won't even use it, that doesn't bode well for the rest of the project. And it could possibly be harder for them to get the money to do it. But I will say this too about Trump not even using the site. Well, we know he has things to say. He either sends them out via those statements like he did when he got the hole-in-one this week. He sends emails to reporters several times a week. He has Liz Harrington sharing them on Twitter. He has lots to say, but even he is like, I don't want to use Truth Social. I'd rather have people actually hear what I have to say.
Maybe he's still on the waiting list, who knows? So good, I love it. No, but there's another angle to this, and I want to be upfront and honest with you guys in that I'm not entirely sure that this was a full-blown scam. But remember, when news broke about Truth Social, there were a lot of stories associated to it that had to do with what's referred to as an SPAC. So it's a form of investing into these types of companies. A lot of money poured into it from what I understand. And I am speculating that this could have just been a money grab, some sort of scam all along. So let me give you those details and you guys can judge for yourselves. So Truth Social is part of Trump Media and Technology Group, which announced an SPAC merger with Digital World Acquisition in 2021. Now, the news of this SPAC merger was well received by the market, with its shares or with shares of the SPAC going as high as $175 and turning into one of the best IPO performers in 2021. So the Digital World Acquisition Corp is actually a publicly traded stock, right? So let's take a look at how the stock ended up performing after the merger with Trump's Media and Technology Group. So where you see that spike at the beginning of the graph is where the merger happened. And so you can see the value of the shares just like shoot up. But those of you who think maybe this is a good opportunity to buy a stock that seems to be performing really well, I would definitely caution against that. The problem is that DWAC is trading at an absurd valuation and its stock is highly likely to tank in the coming months. This is not the right market in which to speculate on an impossible to value stock with no earnings, scant revenue, uncertain prospects, and buyers solely focused on the company's celebrity appeal. In fact, investors in the PIPE, that's private investment in public equity, have agreed to buy 1 million in DWAC shares, free to sell immediately. This is the important part. When the deal closes, when PIPE Deal hands these preferred investors a minimum of 40% discount to the market price with no lockup agreement. So this ought to give pause to any buyer of free trading stock. So the point is, these individuals were able to buy the shares at a significant discount. Very likely they're going to cash out, just as other investors might be buying investors who didn't get a discount, and they'll get screwed over once the stock value crashes. That could happen. It seems like there's this money grab happening right now with this merger and how the shares are performing as we speak. But I mean, if the shares are based on the merger with this Trump company, that's of course part of this like failing social media platform, obviously it's not a good idea to invest in this. Like, I would not invest in this stock. I mean, I wouldn't invest in it even if I knew it was gonna perform well, because I wouldn't want to support this garbage. But if you're only looking out to make a profit, this is not the way to go.
And you know who did dump some money into that though, right? Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Oh, I love it.
Yeah, she put in tens of thousands of dollars. And by estimates, based on when she bought in to what it's valued at now, she's lost, I think, anywhere between $7,000 and $10,000 on this stock. So that's a little bit of icing on the cake there. Not to mention, she's lost, I think, her entire salary because of mask fines. So anytime she loses money, it's a great story. I know she's a multimillionaire because her parents started a successful business that they gave to her. But yeah, so she's not doing so well. I don't care about her money. I do worry, of course, people are getting screwed on this, right? They bought in when it was at this high price. And as you showed in the little chart there, like it just kind of goes down, a little bit up, way down again. It was at 175. I think the latest I saw it says about $70, $71. That's a lot of money people have already lost. And yeah, it looks like it's gonna get much worse.
Well, maybe it's a bad idea to put your faith behind a guy who has gone bankrupt 6 times, who has scammed his own supporters multiple times. I mean, this is who Trump is. None of it surprises me. So if you really take a step back and look at the real purpose of what's going on with this whole truth social thing, I mean, he can't even fake it to do the scam appropriately, right? Like in order to really carry out the scam, like you gotta at least pretend like you believe in what you're pushing. And he can't even get himself to do that. You know why? Because he gets away with the scams all the time and people just take what he says at face value. His supporters just trust him, they believe him. And even idiots like Marjorie Taylor Greene just follow everything he says. I love hearing that she's losing money.
Yeah.
I wonder how Mama and Papa feel about that, since it's very unlikely it's her own money, but it is what it is. I'd love to hear it.
Thanks for watching The Young Turks. Really appreciate it. Another way to show support is through YouTube memberships. You'll get to interact with us more. There's live chat emojis, badges. You've got emojis of me, Anna, John, JR. So those are super fun. But you also get playback of our exclusive member-only shows and specials right after they air. So all of that, all you gotta do is click that join button right underneath the video. Thank you.